There are people who have committed themselves to fight against the will of God, to fight against the Bible. I told you how Satan works. He borders around what God tells you to do. If God comes and tells you, you shall not eat of this fruit, then the devil, when he comes to you, he says, has God truly commanded you not to eat of this fruit? Are you getting this? Why? Because he wants you to be opposed to what God said. That is destruction. That is disobedience. That is destruction. You're already on your way to hell. There are people who are coming. We have pastors who are starting to preach a gospel that is not in the Bible, who are starting to push an agenda that is not in the Word. And already that means the whole congregation is being led to hell. The whole congregation is being led to hell. Because the sin of destruction, the sin of disobedience is equal to idolatry. It's like you are worshiping another God. The true worship of God is the alignment to his instructions. If you are my children, if you are of his sheepfold, if you are of his pasture, the Bible says that you will truly hear his voice. That's John chapter number 10. If you are his sheep, you will hear his voice. So the reason why we are not hearing his voice is because we are not of his pasture. We are not of his sheepfold. So we have this, inability in us not to hear what God is saying. It's called rebellion. That was the nature of the devil. That was the original sin, rebellion. He said, I will ascend above the mountains of God, above the stars of God. I will exalt my throne above him. Do you see this? That was the nature of the devil, and that will cause this demotion from heaven. And you wonder why there are demotions in your life is because you are moving in disobedience. You are not an obedient child. There are ways, of course, to do away with disobedience. One way is the Bible says, spare the rod. Hey. And what you will do when you spare the rod from a child, you increase the chances of the child becoming more foolish. So how to manually reset a child who is in disobedience is what is called a chastisement. It's by hitting the child. That's the way to manually reset the child. So God places what are called the chastisements. If God is still chastising you, he loves you.